Good morning everyone. Welcome to your English class. Today in this class, we will continue with our play, The Merchant of Venice, Act 3, Scene 2, lines 152 to 191. Children, before starting this session, I would like to remind you that you have to read the text for better understanding. Now let us discuss the objectives. By the end of this session, you will be able to explain the meanings of the difficult words according to the context. Tell some of the references that we have read in the text. Explain the text in your own words. Children, till now we have read that Portia is extremely happy at the right choice made by Bassanio. Bassanio too is completely charmed by the portrait of Portia that he found in the casket. Bassanio reads the scroll on which it is written that he should feel contented with Portia and not think of any other woman. The scroll also directs Bassanio to give Portia a kiss and then claim her as his wife. Now we will continue our text from lines 151 to 170. So lines 151, dialogue of Portia. Children, in these lines, we will read that Portia is a very modest woman. She is not proud of her wealth and beauty, although she knows that Bassanio is nothing as compared to her in terms of money. As we know that Bassanio is a spendthrift, he is like a prodigal Christian, living on borrowed money. Yet, Portia gives him a lot of respect, whereas any other woman would not have done so. So therefore, Portia says, "You see me, Lord Bassanio, where I stand, such as I am." Such as I am means as I am in reality. In these lines, Portia says to Lord Bassanio that he can see her standing there in reality. Further she says, "Though for myself alone, I would not be ambitious in my wish, to wish myself much better." She further says that as far as her own desires are concerned, she would have no better wishes that she might be better. It means that Portia is satisfied with herself. But further she says, "Yet for you, I would be trebled 20 times myself, 1,000 times more fair, 10,000 times more rich." Children, here she says that for Bassanio's sake, she wishes that she might be 60 times herself. Trebled means thrice, so 3 into 20, it means 60 times. So here she says, as far as her part is concerned, she is satisfied for herself. But for Bassanio, she wishes that she might be 60 times herself, 1,000 times more beautiful, and 10,000 times richer than she is. Now why is Portia saying so to Bassanio? See the dialogue. "That only to stand high in your account." That only means only in order to. Account means, first meaning is estimation, second is financial reckoning. So marriage to Portia will solve Bassanio's all financial problems. So that is why Portia says that she would be 60 times of herself, 1,000 times more beautiful, and 10,000 times richer, just in order to stand high in Bassanio's eyes. Further she says, "I might in virtue, beauties, livings, friends, exceed account." Beauties means beauty, livings means property or possessions, exceed account means be worth more than what can be reckoned. So children, in these lines, Portia gives a lot of importance to Bassanio, who is not a prince, lord or duke. He is just a common Venetian. So why does Portia give a lot of importance to him? She gives a lot of importance to Bassanio because she is in love with him. And when someone is in love, he or she wants to exceed in the eyes of lover. That is why she says that she might be worth more than what one can be in terms of virtue, beauty, property, and friends. So, children, in order to stand high in the eyes of Bassanio, she wants to be more virtuous, more beautiful, more rich, and wants to have more influential friends. Further, she says, but the full sum of me is sum of something, which to term in gross is an unlessoned girl, unschooled, unpracticed. So there is a reference of these lines from but till unpracticed. But the sum total of myself is the total of something which may be expressed at the best as an inexperienced girl, untrained and having no education. So here she says that the sum total of herself is the total of something, which may be expressed briefly, means she says to herself that she is an inexperienced girl, untrained and uneducated. Further, she says, happy in this, she is not yet so old, but she may learn. Happy in this means she is fortunate in this respect, but she may learn means to learn. So, children, why is she happy? She is happy because she is young enough to learn. Though she is inexperienced, untrained, and uneducated, she is not old to learn anything new. So she is telling Bassanio that whatever he will teach her, she will learn it. Further, she says, happier than this, she is not bred so dull, but she can learn. Is not bred so dull means was not born so stupid. Children, here she uses comparative degree, that is happier. Now, why is she happier? She is happier because she is not slow in nature. That is, she is not dull to learn new things. Further, she says, happiest of all is that her gentle spirit commits itself to yours to be directed as from her lord, her governor, her king. So here she says, first of all, the meaning. Happiest of all is that, the happiest thing of all is the fact. So children, here she uses the superlative degree, that is happiest. She feels the happiest of all because she has a gentle disposition, that she entrusts herself to be guided as if by its lord, governor and king. So these words she is referring to Bassanio. It means that she is the happiest of all as she now belongs to Bassanio and he can guide her as he wishes. So see how modest is she. Myself and what is mine to you, and yours is now converted. From myself till converted is a reference. It means myself and all that is mine, I now transfer to you. She further says that she and all her possessions have now become of Bassanio. Now let us read gist of these lines. Portia says to Lord Bassanio that in reality she has no ambition for herself to be better. But for his sake, she wishes herself to be much better. She wishes that she might be 60 times herself, 1,000 times more beautiful, 10,000 times more rich than she is. She wishes to stand respectable in his eyes. She might be worth more than what one can be in terms of virtues, beauty, property, and friends, but the sum total of herself is the total of something which may be expressed briefly as an inexperienced, untrained, and uneducated girl. She is glad that she is young enough to learn, happier because she is not so slow in nature that she cannot learn. Happiest of all because she has a gentle disposition that she entrusts herself to him to be guided as if by its lord, governor, and king. She and all her possessions have now become his, that is of Bassanio. Further, lines 171 till 177. So this dialogue is continued. Portia says, "But now I was the lord of this fair mansion, master of my servants, queen over myself, and even now." But now means just a moment ago. She says that just a moment ago she was the owner of this beautiful house, master of the servants, and queen over herself. But when Bassanio chooses the right casket, everything changes. So she says, "But now this house, these servants, and this same myself are yours, my lord." So she is referring my lord to Bassanio. So she says that now at this moment, her mansion, her servants, and she herself belong to Bassanio. Further she says, "I give them with this ring, which when you part from, lose, or give away, let it presage the ruin of your love and be my vantage to exclaim on you." Presage means foretell or be a sign of. Vantage means opportunity. So children, how she offers everything to Bassanio? She offers everything to Bassanio with the ring. She lays a condition while giving the ring, that is the wedding ring, that if Bassanio part with it or lose it or give it away, it will be a sign that Bassanio's love for her is dead, and it will give her an opportunity to blame him for being faithless. Let us read gist of these lines. "A little while ago, she ruled over this house and have been the mistress of all her servants and the mistress of her body and soul. However, now this moment, the mansion, the servants, and herself are his. She offers them to him with this ring. When he parts with it or loses it or gives it away, that will be a sign that his love for her is dead and an opportunity for her to accuse him for that." Lines 178 to 188. So Bassanio says, "Madam, you have bereft me of all words. Only my blood speaks to you in my veins." Bereft means deprived. So Bassanio felt overwhelmed with Portia's love. He says that her pretty words has deprived him of words. That is, he feels speechless. Only the blood running in his veins speaks to her. That is, his feelings are responding to her words. So he wants to say that verbally he feels at a loss to express himself to Portia. Further he says, "And there is such confusion in my powers as after some oration fairly spoke by a beloved prince, there doth appear among the buzzing pleased multitude." Powers means thoughts. Oration fairly spoke means speech well delivered. Buzzing means murmuring with admiration. So Bassanio feels much confusion in his thoughts, like the one that follows after a fine speech of a beloved prince among a murmuring delighted audience. Children, what happens after a speech delivered by a loving prince? So after the speech of the loving prince, that is the popular prince, the audience gets so excited that they start murmuring words of applause. Some says bravo or once more, or some may say well said. So these all positive remarks together creates confusion, and the same confusion is being felt by Bassanio in his thoughts. That is why he says, where every something being blent together turns to a wild of nothing, save of joy, expressed and not expressed. So these lines, it means, where every feeling blended together produces a wild confusion, expressing nothing, but which finds only inarticulate expression, expressed and not expressed. So, in simple word, he explains his confusion by expressing that his every feeling is blended together. And what does that blend produce? So, his blended feelings produce a wild confusion, and that wild confusion is not able to express anything, leaving the joy, which again cannot be expressed. So he is feeling very happy at that moment and he is not able to express it. But when this ring parts from this finger, then parts life from hence. Oh, then be bold to say, Bassanio is dead. He again confirms that the ring which Portia gives him will be precious to him, and it will never part from his finger. And if it parts from his finger, it means he is dead. Now let us read gist of these lines. Bassanio says to Portia that she has deprived him of words. Only his blood running in his veins speaks to her. And there is so much confusion in his thoughts, like the one that follows after the speech of a beloved prince, and applause of a delighted audience, where every feeling blended together produces a wild confusion, expressing nothing but joy, which again just cannot be expressed. But when this ring leaves his finger, may it be only due to his death, she may say with certainty that Bassanio is dead. So, after this dialogue of Bassanio, we have next line, lines 189 to 191. So, there is a dialogue of Nerissa. What does she say? My lord and lady, it is now our time that have stood by and seen our wishes prosper, to cry good joy, my lord and lady. Prosper means be fulfilled. So she is feeling very happy. So Nerissa, who is she? The attendant of Portia. She congratulates them. She further says that they who are standing aside are feeling happy because their hopes are fulfilled. Now, what has Nerissa always hoped for? Children, Nerissa has always hoped that Bassanio should win Portia in the lottery of casket and marry her. And her wish has come true. So she is wishing both of them happiness. Now let us read gist of these lines. Nerissa addresses Bassanio and Portia as the lord and the lady. She further says that it is now time for them who have stood by and seen their hopes come true, and she wishes them great joy. Children, I hope that these lines are clear to you. Please read your text again for better understanding. For your homework, please refer to Snap Homework. Thank you so much, everyone.